they're wearing hijab or not.
Kenapa jatuh cinta dikatakan jatuh? Karena sebagaimana kita jatuh, kita tidak punya kuasa. Pilih jatuh pada hati yang mana bisa ku tahan. Senyum sederhanamu, karena tidak bisa ku punyai, maka ku dapatkan kisah kita satu di dunia yang nanti.
And the more I am what I'm designing, because it is essentially
Ladies that you're catering to, what do you think the biggest issues?
the struggle at the moment is maybe that there is so much noise, and he's speaking about Muslim women or speaking about Islam as a religion rather than coming to us, is having enough strength and special and so rich, you know, like Islam as a faith might feel like you need to fit in, so you need to like water down parts of yourself.
Inshallah, was that something you went through?
I think so. Definitely. There are so many, but the biggest one for me is probably that passions because you love your religion, and so all interesting in so many other ways. And I get so much inspiration from about all the things that excite me and like my culture and everything. And so it's hard to exist in the West sometimes, because when you wear the hijab, they see you as just a hijabi, so many other things, and like that's not the main focus, you know? So it's of course an important part of your identity, but it's not everything. And I think one of the big, we're made up of different like cultures and ethnicities and backgrounds and financial backgrounds and life experiences, you know, and we all have something. Story is important too. Don't be like overwhelmed.
But you're actually walking the talk.
Thank you.
I think I did read something about you doing something which was quite bold.
You have control over the marketing and the things that we do
And the
and the
narrative,
messages.
yes.
It doesn't need to feel streetwear is disruptive, and streetwear always started in a disruptive space, and it was going to think, okay, I am a streetwear brand, but what is my audience currently experiencing? Say something. I always knew the power of fashion with that, and I wanted to use that for, in this very similar way, either banning the garment or talking about banning the garment. And for me, it was very important that are on like the wrong end, because we shouldn't even be discussing banning a garment. Women should be able to wear whatever they want, whether they're wearing hijab or not, you know? And so what we did was non-Muslims too. So we have a responsibility to like educate people, because I think it just made them feel seen, you know? And I think that's the superpower, like to make people feel seen.
What was it?
Because fashion is political, and a lot of people want to deny that fashion is political. They think it's just clothes or just aesthetics, but we've seen,
Wow, fashion is that deep.
it is that deep.
It is that deep, and you've also mentioned that the clothes say a lot, even before we speak.
Yes, I loved expressing myself in a creative way, and I was very privileged that I live in London, and my or anyone from my culture.
Your
And
culture is?
so I'm from Bangladesh. Traditional methods with fabrics, and even back to like cologne, that I guess drive to do something, it's just inherent, like that's me.
It's in your
Fashion was always like that deep to me, and when I started wearing a hijab, I wore it from a very young age. But I think any business venture, you are going to succeed.
Delusional.
Yes,
That's an interesting
there has
word.
to be a sense of delusion, because we kind of lived a double life where on social media I was following all my favorite designers, keeping up with the merch tour for his clothing. So these are like big people in the industry, and I thought, I'm a little hijabi like me, I'm gonna just apply for this. It was different, it was unique. They'd never seen anyone that looks like me in the fashion industry, and so it's a fresh idea. So that was like my foot into the industry, and once I had that foot into the industry and had like to do it, you know, because there's so much going on in the world that it's directly solving like the Muslim community are feeling about certain things and how they're represented, or the fact that there is very little. From my perspective, is the edge that this garment exists in a city and not for maybe a traditional connection and community. I just want people to feel good and to doing with your family or your friends. So I just want my community.
I'll be waiting for you to come to Jakarta.
Yes, inshallah.
Bring your
I love the
baggy
style. The
Inshallah.
I need all the inspiration.
Barakallahu fikum. Thank you so much.
Cool, thank you. I loved it. Now I feel like crying.